It's bizarre and it's very strange that Richardson Hitchens picked 2.5 to 3 hours before the main card started to pull out of the fight due to an illness. And you looked at the fight weigh-ins Friday between himself and Oscar Duarte. Richardson Hitchens didn't look like himself, making that brutal cut of 140 pounds. He looked weight drained, and it looked like the weight cut of 140 pounds was too much for him this time. Now, in combat sports, especially American fighters, in combat sports, whether it's MMA, whether it's boxing, weight cuts are very dangerous, and that goes to the weight bullies out there. Knowing that you cannot make the weight anymore, but I'm going to just stay at this weight so I can bully my opponent to be the bigger fighter. It just doesn't make sense. The weight cuts are very brutal. There's huge ramifications for your body if your body's not responding well to the cuts anymore. So if it's time for you to move up in weight, you need to move up. And in this situation, it was time for Richardson Hitchens, after he defeated George Kambosos last year, to move up to the welterweight division because he can no longer make 140 properly. And the title that he has doesn't make it better, because if you guys know, in the sport of boxing, if you're the IBF champion, there is a rehydration clause of 10 pounds, meaning boxers cannot rehydrate more than 10 pounds for the fight. So there was going to be a second, after the second weigh-in, Richardson Hitchens and Oscar Duarte could not weigh more than 150 pounds for their co-main event fight. Richardson Hitchens, after the second weigh-in, probably was feeling ill, probably was feeling sick, probably feeling the ramifications of the brutal weight cut. So if Richardson Hitchens was smart trying to be a weight bully, and that's the reason why he could not make the fight between himself and Oscar Duarte, he would have tried to unify with one of these super lightweight champions and possibly do a unification fight. Because then the IBF rules go out the window if you make a title unification with another valid champion at the weight class. So he should have thought about that a long time, because he's going to be a weight bully at 140. But Richardson Hitchens might have gotten ill with that second weigh-in, guys. And I think it's time for him to move up to 147. And I feel so bad for Oscar Duarte, because the news broke 2.5, 3 hours away from the main card, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, before the main card. If you're not in Vegas, if you're not a local fighter in the same weight range as Oscar Duarte, it didn't do anybody any favors. And especially for Oscar Duarte, that did all the work of training camp, busted his ass, preparing to fight for his first world title opportunity, gets taken away.